Hi guys, Olive here. I have a tag video for you today. This is an original tag created by my friend Steve Donoghue called the 28 More Random Questions tag. He just recently did the 25 Random Questions tag that he tagged me in. I actually already did the 25 Random Questions tag a very long time ago when my channel was still fairly new. Steve really loves these kinds of tags, the ones that ask really nosy questions, because he likes to get to know booktubers more. So 25 questions wasn't enough for him, so he decided to come up with another 28, and they are very Steve questions, and you will see what I mean. Question number 1 is, how old is your oldest living relative? I honestly do not know. I am not in contact with the good majority of my extended family, but of my immediate family, my living grandparents are in their 80s, and my grandfather is still an avid tennis player. Fun facts. Question number 2 is, as an adult, have you ever been in a fight? And Steve makes sure to specify about this question that it would be a physical fight in which there would be a clear winner and a clear loser, and the loser doesn't know what's going to happen to them in the end. No, I have not been in a fight as an adult, and I will say that's probably for the best. Question number 3 is, have you ever been slapped in public? It seems as though Steve is very interested to know if any of us fight on a regular basis. But my answer to the question is no, I have never been slapped in public, and I can't really imagine a situation where that would happen. Also, if you've ever met me in person, or if you ever meet me in person, you would know that I'm not probably the best target of just being slapped randomly. I don't look like someone you would want to start something with. Question number 4 is, what is the largest non-human animal that you've ever seen in person? My answer to this question is unfortunately probably an elephant at the zoo, but I've never been up close with one. So the largest animal that I've ever been up close to and interacted with is probably a horse. Question number 5 is, have you ever had serious surgery? And of course, Steve has a list of criteria about what constitutes serious surgery. I think all surgery is serious, it's just to what degree. On the less serious side of things, I have had several different oral surgeries to drag down impacted teeth, to remove teeth, including my wisdom teeth. It took a lot of work to get my teeth looking like this. I wore braces for 3 years. But on the more serious side, I did have my gallbladder removed laparoscopically about 5 years ago. I went through a period in my life where I was very, very ill, and doctors didn't really know what was wrong with me. They did tests on my gallbladder. Everything seemed normal, but I was in such misery that they decided to take it out anyway. Lo and behold, that's what was causing my problem. Because it was done laparoscopically and was an outpatient procedure, I don't know how serious Steve considers it, but it was pretty serious for me. I still have scars from it. I still live my life differently because I do not have a gallbladder anymore, but it gave me my healthy, happy life back. So for me, it was pretty serious. Question number 6 is, if you could only compare the novels of Cormac McCarthy to one particular kind of garbage, what kind would it be? My answer to this would be that experience when you're in your car and something just stinks. You don't know what is stinking it up, but you know that there's garbage somewhere. So you start investigating, you look under the seats, you look in between crevices, and you just can't seem to find it. You need to find this garbage to be able to get rid of it, to clear up the stink out of your car, but you're almost afraid to find it. It smells that bad. I'm kidding about this. Obviously, I've never read any of the novels of Cormac McCarthy. This question is obviously meant to troll Adam at Memento Mori, but I'm a good sport, so I played along. Question number 7 is, who'd be your dream casting for Superman? This is one of those questions that I think makes it obvious that Steve created this tag, and I don't have an answer for this question because I don't really care. Question number 8 is, what is the greatest amount of physical pain that you've ever been in? Well, besides the fact that being a woman is at times excruciatingly painful, I would say it's probably the experience I had after I had my gallbladder laparoscopically removed. After they remove your gallbladder and stitch you back up, there is a small amount of air trapped in your body from the whole removal process. Well, when you stand up and start moving around again, all that air starts to move up in your body, and it sits in your shoulders. It doesn't sound like that would be incredibly painful, but it was one of the most horrendous feelings I have ever had. It felt like my muscles were melting. And also, I was not warned by my doctor or any of the nurses that this was going to happen to me, so I thought something was wrong. So I was in a tremendous amount of pain and terrified. It wasn't a good day. Question number 9 is, do you believe in a god or gods? And my answer to this is I'm an agnostic, so I literally don't have an answer to this question. Question number 10 is, have you ever been good and properly drunk? And again, Steve has specifications about his question. He doesn't mean that you're absolutely trashed. He means that you're happy and jolly, like past the point of tipsy, but not falling over yourself. If you know anything about me, if you've been watching my channel for any length of time, then you probably know that yes, I do enjoy having a few drinks, but it might surprise you to find out that I didn't do any drinking or partying until after I got out of college. I was very, very focused on school, and I always told myself that I will have plenty of time and much more money to do that after I'm done with school. So I was just going to focus on school and worry about that later. I do sometimes wish that I would have taken a little bit more advantage of the fact that I was in college and experienced things a little more, but I graduated second in my class, and now I can go out and have a drink whenever I damn well please. Question number 11 is, to the best of your knowledge, what's the closest you've ever come to death? I don't know if I've ever really come close to death, but if I were to make a guess, it would probably be a car accident. I've never been in a major one, but I've definitely had a lot of near experiences with car accidents because people drive like idiots. Question number 12 is another very Steve question, and that is, what Star Trek character would the person who knows you best compare you to? You know how that earlier question was clearly meant to troll Adam at Memento Mori? I feel like there's at least a part of this question that was meant to troll me. During my trip to Boston last year, when I got to meet Steve in person for the very first time, he described me a very specific way. I didn't disagree with his description, but he basically called me a Vulcan with a better fashion sense. As I said, he's definitely not wrong. I could definitely be compared to a Vulcan, or Dr. Spock, if you want to get specific about it. I do have a very logical, robotic, database type brain. I do not lead with emotions. I find myself struggling to understand other people's emotions sometimes. I make a lot of eye contact and I remember everything. The INTJ curse. Question number 13 is, have you ever had your life radically changed by a book? And my answer is the same as Steve's, in that no, I wouldn't say that my life has been radically changed by any one book. A good number of books that I have read in the past have changed my way of thinking. They've exposed me to new things. But in terms of radically changing my life, I've yet to read a book like that. Question number 14, is there a universally beloved classic that you just don't like? I feel like I have several of those, but the one that most easily comes to mind is To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. I read it in school, just like every other American child. And I just didn't see what all the fuss was about. I know that a lot of people at that point in their life really fall in love with it and take that love of To Kill a Mockingbird with them throughout the rest of their lives, but I'm just not on that train. And then there was the whole Go Set a Watchman situation where everyone raced out to buy this book that was being marketed as a sequel to Kill a Mockingbird. I really didn't understand why everyone wanted to buy it, and I thought it was really shady that the publisher published it in the first place. So yeah, To Kill a Mockingbird. Not into it. Question number 15 is, what is your dream profession? When I was in college, I was working toward becoming what is called a political risk analyst. So based on knowledge and research, I would advise companies about whether or not they should do business in a specific country based on the things that are happening there. I still very much have an interest in doing this, but it seems as though I would need to get a degree I don't want to be able to qualify for it, and then I would have to live in New York to be able to do the job. I want to do neither of those things. So right now it is my long-term goal to eventually just be working part-time at the company that I'm working at right now. And then the other half of my time would be spent doing voiceover work, either for radio or for audiobooks or both. I love being a career woman. I love getting out of the house and going to my job, but I don't want to do it 5 days a week ultimately. But I don't think I'm going to be able to make that happen for many years. I'm just going to be working full-time, doing Booktube, doing voiceover work, just overloading myself as usual. Question number 16. Is there an entire genre of reading you're bugged you haven't fully explored? I wouldn't say I'm bugged. I haven't fully explored romance, but I do want to get into it eventually. Question number 17 is, when you people watch, what is the first thing you notice? Well, oftentimes I notice the outfits that other women are wearing because I like to take style inspiration based off of things that I see. But I would say if I'm just looking around and noticing people, I probably am wondering whether or not they're happy. Question number 18 is, barring the unforeseeable, what is the most likely way you will die? Steve, you ask such upper questions. I will probably die from cancer. That's just a feeling I have. Question number 19 is, have you visited any of the wonders of the world, ancient or modern? No. I wish I had, but I haven't. Question number 20 is, what are your main superpowers? If you watch Steve's videos, you may have heard him mention before that he believes that all of us have our own superpowers, something that we can do better than everybody else does. And if you've watched many of my videos, you've probably heard me mention my memory. When I tell people, you know, I have a really good memory, I feel as though it's an understatement because a lot of times people will come back with, oh yeah, I remember crazy things too. I promise you it's not at my level. And I don't mean to make that sound that I think that I'm better because I have this memory. In fact, it's really, really overwhelming. Another superpower I have is that I have a very, very large field of vision. Like my peripheral vision captures basically everything around my head. But because I can do that and because I remember so much, I am constantly on sensory overload. I notice everything and I remember everything, and it is exhausting. But I won't lie, the memory definitely comes in handy and allows me to do things that I probably shouldn't be able to do. Steve has experienced my memory firsthand, kind of freaked him out a little. It was quite entertaining. But we kind of came to the conclusion that I should probably be studied because my memory is getting better with age as opposed to worse, which is not a normal thing. So yeah, the memory and the peripheral vision. It's kind of crazy. Question number 21 is, have you ever met any famous people? Not to my knowledge. Question number 22 is, have you ever slept out of doors? And by this, he means raw, on the ground, no protection. And my answer is no. Question number 23 is, would you make a good parent? Or if you're already a parent, how much do your kids hate you? Again, that is such a Steve way to put that question. But yeah, I do think I would make a really good parent. I was a nanny for a few years, so I know I have the capability of doing it. I just don't know that I want to, especially not very young children. I do not believe I'll be having any of my own. But when it comes to older children, that's an ongoing discussion. Question number 24 is, New Kids on the Block or the Backstreet Boys? Neither. In sync. Question number 25 is, have you ever been on stage in front of an audience? Yes, of course. I was in theater in high school. I was in quite a few different productions. I really enjoyed that. I also gave a speech at my college graduation, which was a lot of fun. I got to write that one. And then there's also the fact that when I'm drunk, I turn into a performer. The last time we were at the Dueling Piano Bar, I did a lot of dancing on stage. Question number 26 is, at the moment, what is your favorite non-Booktube YouTube channel? I have said it before, but I will say it again. I absolutely love Jenna Marbles. I think she is hysterically funny, so genuine. She has not let any of her success go to her head. I love watching her videos, highly recommend her. Getting closer to the end here, question number 27 is, have you ever passed out while sober? No, but I did come close one time. I was in a sociology class when I was in high school, and we were doing a whole unit on taboos, and we watched this video of this tribe. I forget exactly where they lived, but they were doing very primitive tattooing of themselves. It looked intensely painful. There was a lot of blood involved, and I got very, very close to passing out. The only reason why I did not is that someone else beat me to it and they had to shut off the video. It was a very weird feeling, and I'm hoping I never experience it again. And the last question, question number 28 is, how strong are you? Physically, intellectually, emotionally? Well, physically, I do think I'm fairly strong. I could be stronger. That's something I would like to work on, especially because eventually, if I ever have time in my schedule, I would love to do roller derby. As I insinuated earlier, I definitely don't look like someone you would want to start a fight with, if that tells you anything. Intellectually, I do think I'm fairly strong. I obviously have a lot of upkeep. I do a lot of reading to try to make myself more intellectually strong. And emotionally, I would say I'm extremely strong. I have been through a lot in my life. As I've said earlier in the video, I don't lead with emotions, but that doesn't mean that I don't feel them. But having gotten to this point in my life, I've had to have a lot of grit. So yeah, I would consider myself very emotionally strong. And then I have two people that I would like to tag. I would like to tag Sabrina at Steakachino and Devin at Indie Insomniac. So those are all of my answers to Steve's very random questions. I hope it was enjoyable. If you have any comments or questions about anything you've seen in this video or anything in general, you can put it in the comment section below, or you can find me on a variety of different places on social media. The links to all of my profiles are linked in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.